Welcome back to another Lanxess Tech Talk, foot bath, liquid versus powder product with Dr. Gisele Ravagnani. Welcome back, Gisele.
Hi, Jim. Thank you. It's good to be back.
I know you had a busy couple weeks of travel getting back from trade shows there, so I appreciate your time. It's always insightful. So for today's topic, again, foot bath, liquid versus powder products, it always goes back to biosecurity. So what are some of the biosecurity barriers and why using a foot bath is important?
Okay. Well, Jim, um, when it comes about biosecurity, um, we have different biosecurity barriers. For example, but the first thing that I always like to explain is what biosecurity is, right? So biosecurity is a set of management behavior and physical measures that are designed to reduce the risk of an introduction or establishment and spread of a pathogen or pathogens agent to, within, and from an animal population. So we may think about, for example, we have a farm. We have to work with external biosecurity to reduce the introduction of these pathogens on this farm. And we also have internal biosecurity aiming to reduce the spread, right? Once we have like a sick animal, or in the case of internal, right? And external biosecurity, for example, trucks or visitors, and also the staff that it's coming every day to work, right? The biosecurity, of course, help protect the animals as well as the environment. And I would like to touch base on the food bath biosecurity today because it's a very common biosecurity barrier you can use for external biosecurity. So before entering in a building or in a farm or in an area inside or between barns, right? So you can use the food bath for external biosecurity and internal biosecurity as well. And it's very important because we we can carry these pathogens. I know that in our last talk we just talked about that we can transport pathogens on vehicles, but we can spread pathogens in when walking between barns or different farms without changing boots or disinfecting our shoes or boots. So that's why it's important as well. So I think this is the main point here, this talk.
So many layers to biosecurity. Do you feel the foot bath is underrated?
Yeah, sometimes, to be honest, yes, because it's not just, you have to explore this biosecurity barrier to achieve its maximum potential. So you just not, prepare the boot path and the solution and it's done. No, you have to pay attention and not, jump the footpath. You have to walk through the footpath, and especially when thinking about the solution that you are preparing, you not you should not just prepare the solution and forget about it, right? So, and why? Once you walk through the footpath, it's normal that this solution it gets soiled. So you have to replenish this disinfectant solution. And why? we know you can just try to search on scientific articles. It's already known that um, disinfectant chemistry lose its potential, their potential in the presence of organic load. So that's why it is recommended to clean the boots before, or just remove the visible organic matter from the boots, and then step into a boot bath with a disinfection, right? And this is the first point, like use and prepare the solution according, of course, the manufacturer's guidelines. And if you are using a foot bath solution, you are looking for disinfection or reducing or killing that pathogen. So pay attention if you're using an EPA approved product, because if it's an EPA product, you know that it's a product that has been tested according to the US guidelines. And this is very important. And the amount of solution as well. I'm talking here right now about liquid food bath. So you need enough solution to get solution in contact with all the sole of the boots, and also at least around on the sides of the boots. And if you are using a powder food bath or food pan, right? Because it's a powder product. So pay attention if the product that you are using is an EPA registered product, if it has claim against the pathogens that you have concern with, if this powder product needs to, if you had to add water, for example, or just the moisture, or don't know, that's okay. And if you're using a food pan, pay attention if you have enough powder to, once you walk through this food pan, you have contact and the powder in all the sole surface, because you need this contact time. When you use liquid, it's a little bit easier because you just step through and you have the contact on all the sole surface. But when you are using the powder, you need this extra attention, and as well. And of course, ensure that everyone is compliant with the food bath protocol, and if they are using correct in the correct way, in this is going to help, right, to maintain the biosecurity standards in your farm.
So, Gisele, you talked about the EPA effect. Now, is there any other way to define how to choose a good product, explaining some of the difference between chemistries, claims, applications, powder and liquid? Any additional details?
Well, I think that besides, right, what I mentioned, that the EPA registered product, because you know that you're using a product that has been tested according to the US guidelines. And when you have a disinfectant, you have a data package claim. So you know against which pathogens that product is effective, right? So if you are concerned about, for example, PED or PRRS, that are very common diseases in pig farms, pay attention. If just read the label, or the EPA label, it's very easy to find it online. You can just Google, and you have the EPA master label, and just double check if, because if you're concerned about these pathogens, so you need to use products that are going to be effective against these pathogens. So be sure that that product is effective against the pathogens that you are looking for, right? The easy of use, of course, the stability. I think they are most important points as well when you are, of course, the price. The dilution rate is important as well when you're choosing a disinfectant for wood bath.
So the takeaway here, the foot bath is important. And as we kind of wrap up, how do we explore this biosecurity barrier to achieve its maximum potential?
Yeah, it's a very good question. So I think understand the importance of this biosecurity measure because we walk all the way and between barns, between farms. So you are carrying right those pathogens between farms or between barns, whatever. And choose a product that fits in according to the needs of your farm. As I mentioned, the pathogens, if it's an EPA product, and the way you're gonna use, right? You're gonna manage the food path as well. At the end, you can have like a very, very good product, but if you just prepare the solution once, I mean, on a Monday, for example, and just forget about it for 2 weeks or a month, right? And you don't replenish the solution, and you see that the solution it's like more organic soil than water or disinfectant solution. Why you are investing on you have to use it properly in a correct way. So I think it's not just one factor, it's like the product that you're using, the way you are using, and I think it's more education right from our side and understand why it's important and not just to use, right, but how to use and select a good product for our facility.
Well, great insight, Dr. Gisele Ravagnani. Thanks for joining us on another Lanxess Tech Talks.
You're welcome. Thank you.